Hi everyone, this is Noopy from DNB Academy, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make basses like the ones in the track Judge Rinder by Turno Ben Snow. This is the original track.
He's coming to get me.
And this is my recreation.
He's coming to get me.
Also, before we get started with the video, make sure you get subscribed to the channel and keep notifications of our future videos. And if you want to support the channel, consider grabbing one of our products at dnbacademy.com. We have great preset packs, producer bundles made by pro artists like Icicle, Current Value, Abyss, Mastic, and many more, showing you how to make a track from start to finish with all project files, presets, samples, etc. included. And speaking about samples and presets, if you want the ones from this video, consider joining the preset pass. The link is also in the description below. So that being said, let's get into the video. These are the notes we're using today for this track, playing on the D. So let's jump into Serum. Okay, for this sound, we're going to start with basic shapes. Select the saw and bring the random down and the octave to down. Okay. Now with the LFO1, we're going to design the envelope for the LFO-A. So bring the level all the way down, assign LFO1 into the level, and now let's draw the shape we desire. Let's turn this into dots, the rate. Add a new dot here. Bring it into 1/4. Also set it to trigger. Okay, good. From here, we're going to set now the oscillator B. We're going to switch it to basic shapes as well. Turn it into a saw and bring the random all the way down. -2 as well in the octave. But this time we're going to send the level all the way down and FM it from the A. So FM from B in this case. And let's look for the right tone. This one is really, you have to be very careful because it changed tone very easily. And so it's a really fine line that even in the 84%, it changes slightly of tone because it's really high in value. So slightly change it. It's a big change in the frequency spectrum. While in the lowest values, we have a bit more control. To the highest, it gets a tiny bit harder, but we'll get it. Okay, that feels similar to where we want to achieve. Let's go into the filters and let's load the comp filter. Comp plus, add a little bit of resonance. And let's try to tweak it now so we get the right spot. Right, feels good. Just slightly to enhance it a little bit. You see with that? Kind of cleans it a little bit. Now, I want to add a tiny bit of movement to the FM, but it will really slightly. So let's get LFO 1. Let's bring it down to 1. There we go. As you can see, it's very slightly if we have to do the changes, otherwise it changes a lot the sound, right? So let's add a tiny bit of noise into it, a little bit of bright white. Just to add a little bit of layer in the bottom of it. Now from here, let's go into the effects. Let's start with some distortion. For this one, we're going to select diode 1. Let's keep it at 50%. And again, let's assign LFO into the drive. Okay, we add a bit more character to it. Now let's grab an EQ. Push him up. We want to add a little bit of bump here in this area. Close to 500. Tiny bit more. Good. Now for the highs, we're gonna add a tiny bit of movement to them. So, but we're gonna grab, instead of a high shelf, we're gonna do a bell, EQ a little bit slower, and the frequency about 3600. Let's hear it. A little bit less. Open slightly. Frequency higher. Let's leave this one off for now, because we'll need it later on in the process, but for now it feels a bit weird. This one feels similar to what we want. So after the EQ, let's open the chorus. Let's bring the rate all the way down so we don't have left and right movement. It's more static this way. Switch the low pass to a high pass filter. Bring it down to 500 or something like that. So we only have chorus from 500 above. And let's tweak the depth. Right, that feels good. A little bit down with the mix. That's good. Now, after the chorus, we go for the compression. Multiband. Let's bring down a little bit the threshold. Tiny bit of reverb. Let's bring the size down. Decay is going to be also down. About 0.7. Oh, 0.8. A little bit of low cut. Some high cuts as well. Let's remove the spin and the spin depth. The mix, reduce a tiny bit. And for last, let's add a filter, MG24. And just to make it reshape again the envelope. Once again, I'm doing unipolar. If you're a Mac, it's Shift Option. Otherwise, you can come over to the matrix and the filter frequency, and you can change it here to bipolar to unipolar. Sometimes we can remove a little bit of mix. In this case, we let it be. Let it stay like this. Okay, so from here, one of the next steps would be getting the rate, right? The rate that we hear in the track, and how do we achieve that? So let's assign the rate into a macro. So let's grab macro 1 and set it to the rate. And in this case, we want to try to find the right rate. So let's push the macro all the way up. You see the highest one? No, that's too fast. Too fast. This is it. Okay. So we have the biggest rate, and now we can just automate it here, right? Like this. And whoops. In this case, let me close down here for a second. And we're going to the MIDI. And we automate that movement from macro 1. Let me just change these here. It's doing the opposite as it should. So I just simply assigned macro 1 into here. That way we can have the modulation. Let's hear it. There we go. Going back to Serum. Okay, now we have the modulation on the macro. Another cool thing to do is when fast notes, like in here, we're doing this LFO, it's being designed to work with a slow rate. That's 1/4 dot, right? But in this case, we're going up to, I think it's 1/16 on the rate part. So, and for that, the longer notes can be a bit cluttered when played followed. So we're going to make it a little bit sharper when it gets faster. In order to do that, we're coming to the macro and we're going to assign it to this dot, in this case to the x-axis, right? We're coming to the matrix, and This is the one, macro 1, LFO bus 1, and we're going to bring it down. And you see they're moving, and we're going to bring it up to the middle. So what's going to happen is when you play, it gets shorter, right? But when it gets shorter, it looks a little weird with the curve down. So once again, we're going to send it to the macro, into the curve. Those who didn't know that this is possible doing, it is. And let's reduce a tiny bit. So let's see how it looks now. Too much. I want it to stay in the shape. So you see, this is the shape it's going to look, reducing just a tiny bit. That now will have the look when it's a short note, right? So if we play. All right, cool. So we got the movement going, right? Tonality, and over here, I think we're done in Serum. We're going now from Serum, we're going to add some distortion. In this case, I'm just adding a simple tape saturation into trash and, sorry, adding a little bit, like a lot, actually, of distortion. Let's see how this is going. Or we better lower first the sound a little bit in Serum, so we have some headroom to work with. Okay, let's close it back and let's hear it now with the distortion. It's a tiny bit too much. Let's reduce here in the input, in the output I meant. Let's see. I think it's fine here on the distortion. Maybe a little bit. Okay, so this is it. Can add a little bit more. Depends on what we want afterwards, right? But we can add a tiny bit more or less. It's all dependable on what we want. And this was my recreation of the track Judge Rinder by Turno Ben Snow. So, if you like this video, make sure you get subscribed to the channel and keep notifications of our future videos. And if you want to support the channel, consider grabbing one of our products at DNBacademy.com. We have great preset packs, producer bundles made by pro artists like Icicle, Current Value, Abyss, Mastek, and many more, showing you how to make a track from start to finish with all project files, presets, samples, etc. included. And speaking about samples and presets, if you want the ones from this video, consider joining the Preset Pass. The link is also in the description below. So thanks for watching, I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next videos.